The Montgomery College Smithsonian Faculty Fellowship Program is a unique collaboration between the Paul Peck Humanities Institute and Smithsonian's Office of Educational Technology. This unique professional opportunity encourages community college faculty to teach with the Smithsonian. Professor Ali Alavi is a professor of business and a Macklin Business Institute's Honors Program faculty advisor on the Rockville campus of Montgomery College. He enjoys developing experiential learning activities involving museum visits for his courses. He teaches Introduction to Business and Statistics for Business and Economics. He received a BS in Electrical Engineering, a BS in Business Administration, and an MBA from the University of Southern Maine in Portland.
The title of my presentation is An Exploration of the Role of the Entertainment Industry in Shaping the American Society. And I'm going to begin with a beautiful quote by Monica O. Montgomery, who is a museum activist and educator. Museum education has the power and the responsibility to do the challenging inner work of tackling tough topics and turning them into teachable moments. My project centered around using museum artifacts and resources to develop a multifaceted assignment that would serve as a platform for interdisciplinary discussions in my two BSAD 101 sections. BSAD 101, or Intro to Business, is an introductory freshman-level survey course. It is one of the courses that students who major in business administration typically take in their first semester at Montgomery College. We cover a variety of topics in BSAD 101, including corporate ethics and social responsibility, economic environment of business, entrepreneurship, management, leadership, and marketing. The exhibit that I selected for my project was Entertainment Nation, which is one of the many exhibits at the National Museum of American History. My goal was to develop a unique and exciting experiential learning activity that would engage my students in topics related to the evolution of the entertainment industry. I also intended to create an opportunity for them to learn about the role of the entertainment industry in shaping the American culture in different periods in the U.S. history through the stories that are told by the masterfully curated artifacts, and to discuss the course content in a larger, richer, and more colorful context, and to cross-reference topics, information, and concepts from other academic disciplines, especially the arts, humanities, and social sciences, and to engage in critical conversations on topics such as identity, immigration, and diversity, and to discuss how museums could engage all visitors to create a more inclusive museum culture, and finally, to develop their critical thinking, object-based learning, teamwork, and research skills. To prepare my students for the assignment, I provided them with a number of sources which included examples that demonstrated how the entertainment industry has influenced the American society in different periods of the country's history in the past 150 years or so. For example, I created a short activity to engage the class with topics related to the cotton industry in the South, the Removal Act, and the Battle of the Native Americans and the U.S. Army, which later became the basis for the Buffalo Bill's Wild West show. In another example, the students learned about the film industry during the Great Depression and how and why Hollywood's success continued during the 1930s despite the severe economic downturn. We talked about the effect of World War II on the entertainment industry. We also discussed the period immediately after the end of World War II, which was a period of economic prosperity for the United States. We specifically talked about the period between 1945 and the end of the 1960s. And the 60s was, of course, a remarkable period in the U.S. history, marked by fundamental changes in the American culture and the political landscape of the country, which were either initiated or supported by artists, entertainers, activists, and entrepreneurs. We talked about Jose Feliciano's historical performance at Detroit's Tiger Stadium before Game 5 of the 1968 World Series and how he shook up a baseball tradition at the young age of 23. We also talked about the Sesame Street show and how it encouraged children and even adults to embrace diversity during a period in the US history when the country was faced with a challenging social conflict. The assignment consisted of 3 sections. The students were divided into small groups. Each group selected one object as the basis of the research and prepared a 10-minute presentation that included information on the following items. In the first section, the groups provided background information on the selected topic, the social, cultural, and economic environment in which the selected movie, music, album, TV show, etc. was released, and how it influenced the culture and the society in its time. In the second section, the students provided feedback as to how successful they thought the creators of the exhibit were at accomplishing the Entertainment Nation's mission. And in the last section, they explained who or what, in their opinion, was missing at the exhibit and why. The students visited the museum on Saturday, October 7th. This is a picture we took at the entrance of the Entertainment Nation exhibit. You notice the School of Business's banner in the center of the picture, and if you look closely, you can see some of the students wearing MC hats, which were the courtesy of the business department's leadership. While observing the students tour the exhibit and interact with their teammates and peers, I noticed that many of them were drawn to the following objects: Selena's performance outfit, Muhammad Ali's boxing gloves, Dorothy's ruby slippers from The Wizard of Oz, the displayed objects from the movie Star Wars, and of course, Kermit the Frog from The Muppet Show. By the end of the second week of October, the groups had selected their topics, which included Muhammad Ali's boxing career and his role during the Civil Rights Movement and the Vietnam War, Selena's success at celebrating diversity through her music, the Sesame Street show and how it influenced the culture in the 60s and 70s, and many more. The groups had 3 weeks to prepare their reports, and finally, in the week of October 30th, each group gave an educational and entertaining presentation on their selected topic. Due to the time constraints, I'm only going to share a few sentences from one of the student presentations. How did Sesame Street influence the American culture? Sesame Street is one of the first shows that celebrated diversity and inclusion on television. The show portrayed characters from different racial and ethnic backgrounds. Sesame Street also featured many strong female characters that challenged gender roles and stereotypes. Rosita was the first bilingual Muppet on television. She was created to teach children to be proud of their heritage. Studies determined that the show had a measurable positive effect on children entering elementary school, especially for those in economically disadvantaged areas. The level of enthusiasm that the groups demonstrated during the visit and the quality of the presentations and discussions, as well as the positive feedback that I later received through the student survey, indicated that the implementation of the project was successful. As a result, I decided to keep the assignment on my syllabus. In fact, my current students and I are going to visit the museum next week on Saturday, March 2nd. Here are a few out of the many quotes that I received from my students In the interest of time, I'm only going to read one of them, which is by Hania Perez. Hania wrote, "The Entertainment Nation exhibit provided us with a beautiful glimpse into the American culture. It was a dazzling collection of iconic pieces." Before ending my presentation, I'm going to read the Entertainment Nation exhibit's mission statement. And if you are in the 2024 cohort, I suggest you watch the short video about Entertainment Nation, which has been made available by the museum on YouTube. With a mission to use history to empower people to create a more just and compassionate future, your National Museum of American History is poised to help us all better understand the value, the role, and ultimately the power of entertainment as a force for change. Thank you.